Hey there, Susan Action here with the Leaders World. Now, have you ever wondered what visionary leadership looks like? Have you ever thought, what does this really have to do with me? Visionary leadership. Has there ever been a time when the world needed more visionary leaders? Welcome to the Leaders World. It is the place where we inspire you and bring tools to bring changes in your family, in your business, in your community. And why not be part of your journey as you change the world? So, with us in the studio today is Miss Maggie Jean. Who is Miss Maggie Jean? I know some of our American friends pronounce it Jean, but she just told me backstage that originally it's Jean. Okay, so I'm going to be saying Miss Maggie Jean a lot. So she is the owner and CEO of MJ's Coaching and Business Solutions LLC. She's a licensed and certified trainer, coach, and team trainer with the John Maxwell team. She is a speaker as well. She's worked as a general manager for a very, very well-known Fortune 500 company with well over 100 employees and a $45 million store. Words like high quality productivity, employee retention, growth, quality customer service, outstanding financial results, high level performance, and integrity are the few words that summarize Ms. Jean's leadership concepts. With us in the studio to share her wisdom on visionary leadership is Miss Maggie Jean. You're welcome, ma'am.
Well, hello. Hi, Susan, and thank you so much for inviting me here to share the stage with you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Happy
We
Sunday.
are delighted. We are just excited with all the awesome things you're doing out there and changing the lives of people. I couldn't be more excited to just have you come here to share your wisdom with the world.
Oh, yes, absolutely. We just can't take this journey by ourselves. Our dream, our goal, our vision is just not about us. It has to include other people. So if you don't include other people, you can't expand, you just can't grow, you remain very stagnant. So it is so much a joyful thing to do to take people along with us. So
Because
let's
one
do
is too
this.
small a number to
Oh
create
yeah, oh
significance, right?
yes. One is too small a number for success, says John Maxwell.
Yes, yes, yes. So I know you're wondering where is Dr. Shu? He is coming.
Oh,
He's
hi,
been
Dr.
having
Shu.
some technical difficulties and he's been trying to connect, and we are hoping that all works well so he's able to connect. And thank you so much, our dear friends, for joining us. We are thankful that you're there. Okay, we appreciate all your comments and all your thoughtful comments because those comments somebody learns from them. So thank you so much for joining us. You can go ahead and click the link and share it with your friends and make sure that they don't miss this opportunity, and our guests are ready to take your questions. Miss Jean, when I gave out this topic, visionary leadership. Because when I conceive the topic, I share it with our team members, and then they give their feedback and input. One of them was like, "Oh, so why visionary leadership? Why not just leadership?" And I said, "Well, you'll find out on the show." So, Miss Shaw, do we have a cause for visionary leadership? Should we be having this conversation here?
What a great question, Susan. And absolutely yes. And I will go as far back as biblical times. And even though I am not a biblical scholar, but in the Proverbs, the great King Solomon said, where there is no vision, the people perish. And at this time, and always at any time, there will always be usefulness for the value of visionary leadership. We must always look forward, even looking forward to the things that we cannot see. but we must have that inspiration and we must have that desire to focus on what can be. So, visionary leadership is absolutely crucial at any and every time in our lives.
Wow. We must have that desire. If I heard you well, you said we must have that desire to focus on what can be. So, if we were to try to phrase a definition of visionary leadership, what would be your thoughts on that?
I would say a visionary leader would be someone with clear direction, one who is passionate about where they want to go, and even more important, why they want to go there. One who will inspire people to come along with him or she, because you know what? You can have this vision, and that vision, most of the times, will be so much bigger than you are. It's important to collaborate with other people. Doesn't matter what level they are at, because every single person has an input and can play a part. So your vision being as big as it probably would be, collaboration would be very important to bring whatever it is you have to light.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. You have just thrown so many pearls. I didn't even know which one to write because I was writing really fast. You said a lot. You said a lot about our vision being bigger than us. Our vision being bigger than us. I've been reading a lot in the direction of vision and purpose and stuff like that. And I came to realize that every human's purpose lasts their lifetime. But vision is a legacy that actually outlives us. So, how can we become visionary leaders?
That's another great question. You just have all these great questions, Susan, and I love them. Susan, we've got a gift called imagination.
Ooh,
And that gift in itself is our vision. That gift is a dream that's etched deep down in our hearts. That's your vision. That's your vision of the forward moving goal or desire or whatever that is. And your imagination is grand. It's a huge thing that we should work on and not just sit on the wayside and let it, happen. We got to put action into it to make that vision come alive. Your imagination is your vision, Susan.
wow. Your imagination is your vision. Your imagination is the birthplace
Mhm.
of your vision. And you're telling us that everybody has that imagination. We've been gifted. Like we can say, I don't have an imagination. Is it possible? Is it possible to say I don't have an imagination? So maybe this is not for me.
We all have imaginations. Sometimes it may appear like a daydream and it can remain as a daydream if you don't take action.
Oh
But when that
wait.
you but you
Oh,
gotta make
that
that
right there.
that's right. You gotta make that vision come alive. Things live in vision, Susan. Things live and progress in vision. If you have no vision, no imagination, things die. So we gotta live, make that imagination come alive, make that vision come alive. We own it. We own it and we owe it to the rest of the world. That's why we're here. We're not
Wait,
called.
we don't only own it, but we owe it to the
Oh,
rest of the
yes, we
world.
owe it to the world. We owe it to other people. You've been given a gift. You've been gifted a vision, a dream, an imagination. This is not just for yourself, it's for everyone. It's for everyone.
But I thought that being a visionary leadership is about you being a great person and feeling big and awesome and amazing about yourself. Now you're telling us it's about others. How does that work?
Yeah, it makes you a great person, all right, of course. but it makes you a better and greater person when you take many people along the journey with you.
Mm.
So we look at a vision of Facebook. That's why we're here, right, Susan? Like
Yes,
you and
yes.
I, we're here. We're now going live. We have our own show. We don't have to go on Oprah. We don't have to do go on all this, right? Because a young man had a vision to create Facebook. Someone
Yes,
else had the vision to create StreamYard. And here we are
yes,
because someone now included us in that dream, in that
yes.
vision, because they knew it would be empty if they only did it just by themselves, if they only did
Mm.
it for themselves. But now they've told us, hey, we're giving you a platform to speak on visionary leadership or to speak on marketing or to speak on anything. They've included us, Susan. So, we're in that vision. That vision that was way down the road has come a little closer, and we're all now part of it.
Oh, wow. Wow. So, in a sense, it's sounding to me like we are all a part of each other's journey, a part of one another's journey as far as accomplishing our visions and dreams. Somehow there is a connection, and it might not all happen at the same time, but somewhere down the road, it might just happen.
That's what makes the journey worthwhile. That's what makes the vision worthwhile because we're all part of it. And in the process of being part of it now, Susan, we can now have new visions based on what we are part of now. We can make this thing explode. We can grow this thing even bigger. We
Hmm.
can we can create a whole Hiroshima bomb now because that vision keeps expanding all the time. The
Yes.
journey is now more worthwhile because together we are more committed. Together, we can think more strategically. Together, we can innovate. That's how we get better. That's how the vision grows. That's how the vision stays alive.
Thank you so much. Wow, wow, wow. Listen, if you're watching, friends, I want you to just type in the chat hashtag make an explosion. If you're watching, let us know you're there. I want you to just put in the chat hashtag make an explosion. Because that's all I like everything Miss Sean said, that's all I heard. Make an explosion. And it takes all of us coming together with our gifts, our talents, and our imagination and letting that imagination go wild and big so that explosion can happen, and that's for everyone. I was researching in my research and I came upon this statement by Simon Sinek. He said a just cause is our why projected into the future. A just cause is our why projected into the future. It describes a future state in which our why has been realized. It is forward-looking statement that is so inspiring and compelling that people are willing to sacrifice to see the vision advance. And that kept me thinking, like, how do we um, bring our imagination to that visionary dimension where others are actually willing to sacrifice to make it come to pass? How does that happen? How do we reach there?
Simply because we inspire them. Simply because we give them hope, simply because we roll up our sleeves. And although we can't understand what we're doing at this point in time, because like Simon Sinek says, the why is way down the road. You ask yourself, why do I do the things that I am doing? Or why should I do this? But it's because now we know we have the ability to move forward with that why. Because we know there are so many discoveries that can be compelling to make change and transformation. Decisions that can help people once again to believe in themselves simply because they can hang on to your beliefs. They can believe because you believe. They can believe because you are ready to take that journey, despite the fact that you don't know what waits for you at the end of the road. You give the why gives hope. The why gives inspiration. The why gives you that strength to go on that compelling journey because you really want to know what's at the end of the tunnel and you're moving forward. So that's
and
the
and
reason why I think.
wow, and it all comes from being visionary. It all
Mhm.
comes from allowing that dream to keep exploding on your inside so that it drives you and moves you. And other people are watching you and they're like, something is definitely driving her.
Yeah, because
And maybe
Susan,
we should come along to know what it is.
yes, because Susan, we want to make the lives of other people better. You want to make their lives better, so you want to know what is this thing that keeps haunting me. Why do I look so far down into the future? Why do I look so far? It's because I want to make change. That vision keeps haunting me. I can see something, but I've got to work hard towards that something. I must have that ability to do it. And again, Susan, I'm going to say, if we do not bring people, if we do not get people to buy into that vision with us, the journey is going to be very long and arduous. It's already long and arduous, but I'm going to tell you, it's going to be better when we bring a lot of other, lots more people with us because they too are inspired to walk with you.
Yes, yes. You know, when you mentioned the word change, it just brought me to Dr. John Maxwell's book,
Mhm.
Change Your World,
Yeah.
his most recent bomb, his most recent explosion that's actually changing communities and transforming lives. And there is this quote in the book. He says, I experienced something so life changing that I change. I share something so life changing that you change. We facilitate something so life changing that others change. And I was like, if this is not a formula for community change, then I don't know what is.
And in his book, Susan, Change Your World, he has given us a moral and directional compass.
Mm,
All right. And that is important because along the way for the change, bringing that vision to life, there will
mm,
be lots of distraction.
mhm,
There will be lots of thoughts coming through your mind. There'll be lots of roadblocks and detours.
mhm.
And so that book, and oh yes, this is not what we're talking about today. We're not talking about that book, Change Your World, but he has given us the moral and directional compass to walk that journey because we will need it. We will need it. We certainly will.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I encourage you to read that book. It's Change Your World by John C. Maxwell. And I found this quote. You talked about moral and directional compass, and I found this quote by Kofi Annan. It's a statement he made about Nelson Mandela. He said, the world has lost a visionary leader, a courageous voice for justice, and a moral compass.
Hmm.
And yes, yes,
Imagine that.
yes, imagine
Imagine
that.
that. When I was a younger woman, I really had in fact I still do. I had great admiration for Kofi Annan. It's a man I studied quite a lot when I was a younger woman.
Yes, yes. So he was talking about Nelson Mandela. By showing us that the path of freedom and human dignity lies in love, wisdom, and compassion for one another, Nelson Mandela stands as an inspiration to us all. It's what drew my attention to this is when you talked about the book being a moral and directional compass, and how somebody like Nelson Mandela exemplified that to the world, but it did not come without a cost. And now I'm thinking, does it seem like all visionary leaders actually have to go through things and changes in life. I mean, when we think about visionary leaders in the world, we're looking like Mahatma Gandhi, we're looking at Mother Teresa, we're looking at Martin Luther King. All of these people that brought changes to the world in a large global scale have been people that showed us that, maybe we needed to be ready for the level of commitment that's needed to go through sacrifices. Ms. Sean, your thoughts on that, please.
Oh yeah, and that calls that question and that statement calls for a lot of reflection because the bigger the dream, the more people it's going to affect, the more changes that has to come with that dream. I think the higher the cost for the leader. And
Hmm.
you look at a man like Nelson Mandela, who paid a long price with his life. A man who at a young age would have changed the world in many, many ways. He still changed the world in many, many ways, but behind the prison walls, because we could
Yes.
not stop talking about him. And his vision still lived even while he was behind the prison wall. And hence the reason why we talk about collaboration, because those who were around him still continued with the dream on his behalf. And
Oh,
he was
yes.
still affecting change even while he was behind the prison wall. It's just, I guess it's just, part of, bringing a vision and a dream to life. There's some people who are afraid of the power of your vision, who are afraid of the power of the imagination, who are afraid of the power of the dream and what it might do that is going to be counter to what these people are thinking. And so they think the best thing to do is to put you away, to harm you, to take your life away from you. But the dream never dies because there will be someone else who's going to run with that torch.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Some of us are watching and might be thinking, I'm not a Nelson Mandela. I don't think I want to make that kind of sacrifice. But at our individual levels, in our businesses, in our corporations, in our families, is it possible to be a visionary leader in these spheres without being a matter of your vision, like being killed?
Could you repeat that?
What kinds of sacrifices should we await as visionary leaders?
Well, I don't know if we can wait or if we should prepare, And I just want to go back to the earlier statement where you said some of the people might say, "Well, I don't want to be a Nelson Mandela or Mahatma because I don't want to make that kind of sacrifice." But remember, many are called, but few are chosen.
Okay.
Right? Some of us are called to carry that torch, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we have to be prepared. We have to be prepared for the sacrifices we will have to make because
Wow.
it depends on the heaviness of that vision you have. Depends on how many people or how much it would affect the world. If it's a vision for just an organization or just a small community or just a small church, it's something very different as opposed to a vision that includes the whole world.
Oh, yes.
So
Oh,
we have,
yes.
but we have to be prepared, no matter whether it's big, no matter whether it's small. We got to roll up our sleeves, right?
Yes.
Nothing comes for free, Susan. Absolutely nothing comes for free. We got to pay the price somehow.
Sometimes the sacrifice is just maybe um, giving up your time instead of doing something else. You choose to put in that commitment because you have that dream, you have that vision, you're visionary like that. Sometimes is maybe sacrificing some relationships. Sometimes is in monetary terms. Sometimes it's even your reputation in front of certain people. And we all just have you. I like how you use the word prepare because visionary leadership comes with sacrifices. And I just heard you say we have to prepare. We have to be ready for those sacrifices. Um, I also found in my research this statement from President John F. Kennedy, where he said, "Everyone has a change the world speech inside them." Everyone has a change the world speech inside them. And I was like, huh, does this equate to everyone being visionary?
Yeah, to a certain extent, I think we all should have a pulse on what is happening around us, whether we're, in our 90s, our 70s, or our teens. I think we should all have a pulse of what's happening just around us. Because, yes, no matter what part of life you're in, you have a change your world speech for what is happening immediately around you.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I do believe that. I do believe we all have a change of world speech. We all can pour into each other, Susan. Our change of world speech cannot always be on the big stage, but our change of world speech can be just a discussion between Susan and I, just a
Yes.
discussion on the dinner table, just a discussion between a group of young men just trying to find out, what their why or what is the next step. Yes, we
Yes.
all have a change of world speech in us. We all can help affect somebody's life, change a life, change a scenario, change the outcome. We all do.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So I like how you said it. I mean, you just put it so nicely. You said, our change your world speech must not be on the big stage. And sometimes we watch some people on the big stage and we are intimidated, like, my change your world speech might not be anything worth anything because this it's not going to stand in the big stage. If we had anybody watching us and having this kind of limiting belief in mindset, what would you say to them, Ms. Maggie?
Oh, that is such a really nice question, Susan, because we all bring value in a different way. It does not have to be on that big stage where everybody will laud you and applaud you, but it can be in a small congregation where that one person can hear that change your world speech. It starts with one. That one person in the congregation, that one person in the community, that one person you're having that conversation, their lives can change by just that discussion or that message you bring. You don't have to be lost in the fray, lost in the big old crowd. That's that. All right. But just your small connection, just those words, our story is our glory. We got to share it with each other. We got to let people know what we think about them. We got to let people know that, hey, I have some little something in me that can inspire you. We got to know, we got to give people hope. That is the change your world story. It doesn't always have to be on the big stage. Big stage, fine, fantastic, but how long does that last?
Right, 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 right. And how many people have access to the big
Today.
stages?
Hmm.
But we are all surrounded by people every day, and we have that story within us. We have that change your world story within us. So, in a way, would you say that the change your world story emanates from who we are? Because I kept hearing you talking about sharing your story. If we have to share our story in order to share that change your world speech, could we safely say that that speech comes from who you truly are, your authentic self?
Yes, ma'am. You got it. Nail on the head. That's right. It comes from your authentic self, because the life you have, the life you were blessed with, the story that you have now can really make a change in somebody's life.
Oh, yes.
Yes, really
Oh,
does.
yes.
Yes.
Well, you know what? Remember our hashtag for this session? Who remembers? If you remember, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. If you forgot, I'll help. Make an explosion. If you're watching, hashtag make an explosion. And every explosion starts with that little fire. Most explosions start with that little fire. Okay, so you want to make an explosion, and Miss Maggie has been throwing gems and just letting us know that wherever we are, we can let that imagination go wild and visionary so that we can bring hope and inspiration and change in the lives of people. And it doesn't always need to be on that big stage. No. And on that big stage, She said, sometimes it's just 5 minutes and it's over. But guess what? The people around you, they always have you. So, what is that imagination that you've been trying to keep away from manifesting because you're thinking, oh boy, this is too big for me. Maybe I can't do this. Make an explosion. We will be right back. And Miss Maggie is here and she is ready to keep rolling with those precious leadership insights. Thank you for joining us again.
For your corporate and personal needs.
Leaders World Institute, changing lives, one leader at a time.
Well, this is the Leaders World. It's your corner where we bring insights, leadership insights to equip you to bring change to your world, wherever you find yourself, to your family, to your business, in your community. And today we are talking visionary leadership. Visionary leadership is what we're talking about. And we have Miss Maggie Jean with us. Um, Miss Jean is the owner of and CEO of MJ's Coaching and Business Solutions LLC. She is a trainer, she is a coach, she is a speaker, and she has been affecting lives in so many areas. And I was just thinking about something you said, Ms. Maggie, about how you tithe your time, how you tithe your time, and you have this non-profit that you share your wisdom with, and tell us about that, and how does that tie in with being a visionary leader and just affecting the lives of people from where you are.
Oh, thank you so much for, asking me how I spend some of my time. Thank you so much, Susan. So yeah, I love to give from my heart. And we can always tithe our time. Sometimes you may not have the money, as in the had cash, and that's not the reason why I do it, but I love to tithe my time, give back to people who I think I can make a contribution in their lives. So there are three nonprofits that I serve with. And one of those, it's a nonprofit that serve people who, from the gated community. We all understand those people who come from the gated community, and they're trying to get back into the workplace, trying to find work. So we have a program where we help them build their resumes, to speak to them about how to get dressed, help them go through a mock interview session and all that sort of thing. It's really great, very, very powerful. Our hiring rates from that program is like 76% in Houston. Yeah, it's really good. It's a very, very, very good organization, and we have one of the best CEOs leading that organization. Anyway, about 2 months ago, I decided to
Miss
offer.
Maggie, about 2 months ago, you're picking up right from there. I just wanted also to throw some clarity because we have different nationalities, people from different continents watching us, and some people might not actually know what gated communities
Okay,
are.
all
If
right,
you don't
wonderful.
mind explaining a little
Yes.
further.
Certainly, Susan, I will gladly do that for you. So, the gated community is a term that is used to describe people coming out of prison, people who've been in jail for a very long time, or maybe, hey, just for 2 years or so. But most of those people who are coming out of prison, they've been there for a long time. And we are here, that this nonprofit organization is here to provide them with the skill to get back into normal life. It's going to take a while for them to get back into what's normal, but we're here to help them, and it's a joy to help them, because we want them to know that they are human beings just like each one of us, that they're significant and they can change their life and make a difference in the world. And of course, that's a vision. It's a vision. To do that is visionary leadership, because you're giving them that hope and that inspiration to see more than they think they could ever see, because you can see it for them. So that is visionary leadership. So I've been serving with them for over 3 years now. I enjoy doing that. I also do another program called Financial Peace University for them. It's a Dave Ramsey program, but we include
Yes.
that also to help them manage, that blessing that God has given them. And anyway, about 2 months ago, I decided that I am going to offer them a mastermind on one of John Maxwell's book called Intentional Living. That is my favorite book, Intentional Living.
Yes.
The vision I see with intentional living is to help them make that profound change, a transformative change in their life.
Mm.
And yeah, a few men raised their hand. A couple of ladies raised their hand too, but a few men raised their hand. And I'm just overjoyed to do that mastermind with them. And
That's so
yes,
beautiful.
yes, and I included a coaching session for each one of them. So help them feel valued, because they are. Your mistake is not you. You made a mistake, all right, but let's not define people by their mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at you being all visionary and inspiring us over here right now with your story and just what you're doing with these men and women and bringing hope and transformation in their lives. Thank you so much for sharing that part of your journey with us. We truly appreciate that. So that takes me to a, a question. What are the dangers of not having visionary leaders in our communities? What
Ooh.
are the dangers of us refusing to let that imagination run our lives? What are some of those dangers?
Well, again, I will go back to what King Solomon said: "A people without vision perish," and it's going to be. Um, I don't want to use the word death, because that is like the end, but it's almost like the end if you don't have vision. If you don't have vision, that you give no one anything to believe in. You
Mm,
give no one any chance to think that they can make a change. You give no one no hope. You don't give any hope, because it's like it's all lost. It's like a community that is lost, because you don't have a leadership who believe. You don't have a leadership who has hope. You have a leadership that is almost stagnant and deaf. So it is I don't, there's no words to describe uh, a community or a place with no vision. It's dead.
wow.
It's dead.
Wow. So
Yes.
if you're watching us and there is a stirring in your heart and you're thinking, I think I should stand up, dust off myself, and pick up that dream and start running with it. By the end of this program, I'm going to put Miss Jean's website and her information in the chat, and you can go in there and see what resources might be there and connect with her for more help. But just know that we are here to cheer you on, and we believe in you, and we know that there is greatness in you, and the world needs you. The
That's right.
world needs you.
That's
The
right.
world
And
needs you.
Susan,
Yes. Yes.
I also have a Facebook group called Accelerate Success.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'd love them to come along that journey, because we're getting ready to effect change in the world. You have a vision? Come on and help us do it together as a group. One is too small a number for success. So we got it.
Beautiful. And that information will also be put in the chat once we are done from here. I was just thinking about how sometimes it's a challenge. You might have a vision, and somehow the communities that you're called to serve seem like they're rejecting you. How do communities prepare for visionary leadership? Um, I don't. That's yeah. How do communities? Is it the communities that prepare for that visionary leadership, or is it the leaders that prepare the communities? Because the leaders cannot go without the communities. So how do they bring themselves to work together to effect those changes?
So in a community, when that leader feels rejection, the journey is going to be a little longer because we need people to come along with us.
Hmm.
But you know, Susan, fear is a very conniving thing. Fear and change, very conniving because some people are comfortable with where they are. And when you come to them with a new vision of change, of growth, they're in that comfort zone. And all their limiting beliefs come along with them in that comfort zone. And they're
Yes.
afraid, they now are afraid of what can be, what will be, and who they might just become. They
Hmm.
don't become even afraid of themselves because I'm afraid of the unknown and I'm just going to stay right here and I'm not going to move a muscle. Now, you're doing a disservice to yourself with that kind of thinking. But that leader who sees far and beyond and more, the tenacity, the determination will not allow him or she to give up because they're committed, they're focused, they are decision makers, and they know that if they stop midway or even before they start, they know it's not going to be a good feeling on the inside. You're not doing it for you, but you know, so many people are going to be left behind. The guilt that you're going to feel within your soul,
Yes.
I don't think I would want to feel that guilt. I don't want to carry that burden. So, as visionary leaders, I will tell them keep fighting until you start getting one buy in, then two comes along, three comes along, and then
Yes.
you to have that Hiroshima bomb again, and we're ready to go. Don't give up.
Yes.
Don't give up.
Yes. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Miles Monroe, said something. He said, most people today are not leaders. They just want to make a living. Most people today are not leaders. They just want to make a living. I was when I saw this statement, I was thinking to myself, could it be the reason why people don't feel the urge, people don't feel the commitment to come along with these leaders because it's all about them. It's about their positions, it's about their titles, it's about their rights, it's about what they have to gain, and it's never about the people. Because hey, who doesn't want somebody who's going to challenge them to be better? Who doesn't want somebody who's going to encourage them to be better? Who doesn't want somebody who's looking out for their good? And if, as visionary leaders, the leader's purpose is the people, it might take some time, but I like the word you used. You said tenacity. You said determination. You said focus. You said determination. Because those are the words that drive visionary leaders. And so long as those words are active and in place in the life of the visionary leader, it's just a matter of time.
Let's add one more word in there, or two
Yes,
more.
ma'am.
Risk takers. They are risk takers. Oh, yeah.
Woohoo!
They are risk takers. Let's do it. I don't see what I don't see, but I know that something is out there. I don't see what I don't see.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
bless Dr. Miles Monroe's heart for bringing his own understanding of visionary leadership to us. And he has left us with such great gifts of all these beautiful videos and YouTube's videos that we can listen to and all these
Yes,
books that we
yes.
can
A
read.
lot.
God bless his heart.
A
And
lot.
honestly, your statement make me feel like wanting to throw stones after these politicians for for just wanting to make a living and not leading us well. But I'm just going to leave it right there because I'm not going to rock the boat right here.
I know, right? I
But
know.
yeah, there's sometimes some people in leadership or can be selfish, and it's all about me. I want to, have that crown on my head and the scepter in my hand. It's all about me. I am not prepared to, put in all the energy to, equip others to see that vision with me and to make it for the collective good of everybody
Yeah,
so we can run
yeah,
with it. There are leaders like that,
yeah, yeah.
unfortunately. And
Unfortunately.
yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately, there we can't hide from it. We cannot share that. It is true. There are leaders like that. But you know what? The onus is on us now, Susan. It's up to
Yes.
us. It's up to the leaders' world now to show people a different way. To show people that you can be a visionary leader, a strong leader, a thoughtful, deep thinking leader who can also make a living, because at the end of the day you want to make a living, but the living is not the priority. Leading the people to where that vision will take us should be the priority.
Wow, I just love what you just said. Making a living should not be the priority, but taking the people, leading them to where that vision is showing should be the priority. Wow.
Mhm.
So this brings us to clearly defining why we do what we do then.
And loving it too, and loving what we do too.
Yes, and loving it, clearly defining it and loving it. Um, I am thinking about maybe the business owner that's watching us that's not having this huge conglomerate, but is just having an average business like most of us. Um, how does visionary leadership look like for that person?
So that's a really, really good question. And also I'm very thankful for you that you decided to bring those, average or small business owners within this conversation. That was very, very nice of you. So again, Susan, I will say one is too small a number to succeed.
Yes.
And I want them to know that they're in business for themselves, but not by themselves.
Hmm.
So to expand that vision, get into a circle of great people, people
Okay.
that can help them think, people that can expand them, stretch them, help them know more and before.
Hmm.
Be in a circle with people who have gone to a place where you are now aspiring to go. So now they can pour into you what it is that you're looking for.
Right.
It's just not good to journey all by yourself. We got to do it together. We really
Right.
can. Yes.
Awesome. Wow. Wow. So I was also thinking about, since visionary leadership is about the people, I am thinking about like in a small business, the leaders want to create an environment that is people centered. And when we talk about environment being people centered, we are also looking at an environment where it's not just about the customers, it's about the staff first. Because if the staff are not taken care of, hello, who takes care of your customers?
So
Miss Shaw.
in my former world, Susan, when I worked at this place that I worked, wonderful place, I enjoyed it. I used to be very, very intense about making sure the internal customer and the external customer were very well taken care of.
Hmm.
The internal customer, they are your employees, but they are also your customers, right? You've
Yes.
you've got to celebrate them. You've got to equip them. You've got to train them so they now can give that external customer what they want. Because if you give them a diabolical experience, Susan, what do you expect? What do you expect that's going to happen on the outside?
They'll push
So
it all out there.
yes, so yes, we've got to get them to where they want to go. We've got to empower them. We've got to celebrate them. We've got to help them stretch. We've got to allow them to understand that, hey, We're in this together. You made a decision to come work with me, and I decided I'm going to help. I'm going to hire you to work with me. I'm going to give you what you need. And this is my contractual agreement to give my internal customer what they need. Yes, this is something we should not even debate.
I could just feel your passion as you explained the concept of the internal
Yeah.
customer and the external customer. I've never seen it that way. I have seen it like, oh, these are maybe my staff or my workers, my employees, but internal customer.
Mhm,
It brings it closer to the heart.
mhm.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you know what, Susan, you're striving as a visionary leader, you're striving for loyal customers. You're not striving for a satisfied customer. A satisfied customer can leave you anytime. A loyal customer is loyal to you. So why not strive for loyal internal customers?
Oh, yes.
You got to be visionary. You got to think way down the line. If I work towards making them loyal internal customers, what a difference that can make for our company. You know,
Mm,
we have all these vision statements hanging on the wall. Susan, what does that really mean? Are these just words we just put together and people walk by them every day and not even remember them?
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now you're just stirring the pots. Don't that's what you're doing. You're stirring that pot.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
And we all can identify with some of those vision statements which are hanging on the walls and nobody's living up to them. And they were just words that we thought were nice sounding.
Mhm.
Tell us about vision statements and their role in visionary leadership in organizations.
Oh, in very, very important, Susan. Very important. Your vision statement was really declare what that company stands for.
Hmm.
The culture must also be represented. It must be short, sweet, and concise that they can remember it like that, and it must be meaningful to them. So I
Hmm.
would say, if you want to build a vision statement, take it to the team, take it to the internal customers. Let's talk about it because they are the ones who are going to live and breathe that air
Wait,
there.
wait, wait. Are you saying that I have this vision and I am not supposed to just come from my bedroom with this vision statement and throw it at them and say, "Hey, yo, this is the vision statement. Start running with it." Did you say we have to bring it to? Is that what you're suggesting? We bring it to the internal customers?
Well, if you want growth, you should. But if you don't, if you just want a company, an organization that's going to be stagnant or have no meaning, or not want people to jump out of bed, you can just think of whatever you want in your head and just put it on the wall.
Oh
But if
yeah.
you want growth, if you want energy, if you want this organization to come alive, you take it to the team, you take it to your internal customers, and
Mm,
you let them make their contribution.
let
They
them
will
own
feel
it.
yeah, they own it. They will feel valued. They feel that they're part of something, and they know that vision, that 5-year goal, that 10-year goal. I was part of this.
Yes.
I was part of this,
Yes.
Let's make the impossible possible.
Oh yes.
They have the buy-in now. Let's do it. They'll roll up their
This
sleeves for you.
This is so beautiful. Thank you so much. Listen, if you're still watching, what do I want you to do? I just want you to put in the chat for us, make an explosion. And if you have a question, this is the time because we are running down. We have a countdown right now. We are counting down to the last 5, 6 minutes of this program. And if you have a question, this is the time to put your question in the chat so we can see it. And Maggie Jean is here to answer those questions. We apologize. Dr. Shu has been talking with me while this is going on, and it's all connection issues. It's all connection issues. Um, he said, finally, I got into it, but my camera and mic were blocked, and he's just been really struggling with this. We don't, I mean, it's tech, guys.
Technology.
It's technology, So he's been trying really hard and working hard at this. And thank you so much for your kind understanding. Yes, make an explosion. If you're still watching, put it in the chat. And if you have a question, please put it in the chat as well. We are coming back, and Miss Maggie Jean, she's going to be bringing us her final thoughts on visionary leadership. If you're writing, it will be a good time to pen down those final thoughts, and we'll be back.
For your corporate and personal needs.
Leaders World Institute, changing lives, one leader at a time.
Thank you so much. I am here with Miss Maggie Jean. She is the owner and CEO of MJ's Coaching and Business Solutions, and she is right here with us. We are doing the countdown to the final minutes of this broadcast. Miss Jean, can visionary leadership be measured? How can I know that I am a visionary leader and I am implementing visionary leadership principles in my organization, be it a nonprofit or for profit or even in my home? Can it be measured?
Absolutely, Susan. Um, let's have a little example here right now. So let's say you're in an organization and you have a 5-year plan for the growth of your business. And the
Mm-hmm.
growth of the business means the growth of those who help you lead the business, your employees, your staff, or your internal customers, as I love to call them. So you put mile markers, all right? Year one, this is where we're going to be. Year two, this is where we're going to be. So these are your mile markers. And you measure the vision as to where you are at that time and what you have accomplished, all
Yes.
right? And in a family, it's almost the same kind of measures you can take. You have discussions with your children. I was one of those parents who never told my children what I think they should be or become or whatever it is. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you do. The one thing I would tell my children is whatever profession you go into, make sure it is something that when you're in your 50s, you can decide, I want to have my own business with this, or with this, whatever it is you want to do. So,
Okay.
you have discussions with your family, and you have places you want to go. If you're married, you have discussions with your husband, what you want to achieve, where you'll want to go, what it is, what's next, what's blah, 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 this month, this year, this quarter, whatever it is. Yes, you have mile markers that you can use to measure your visionary leadership.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Beautiful. So, what is that dream? What mile markers have you given yourself?
Oh, fantastic question, Susan. I
And
love
I'm
it.
asking our audiences, and yes, you may speak into that if you wish.
Wonderful question. Susan, I'm on the third act in my life. And for those who are listening to us, of course, you recognize that I do have an accent. I'm from a small island called St. Lucia. I moved to the United States about 18 years ago. So I had a job back home in the islands. That was Act One. I moved to the United States. I had a wonderful, successful corporate job. I think I really
Act two.
enjoyed. That was Act Two. And in 2018, mile marker that it was not definite, but in 2018, I said goodbye to a 6-figure wonderful job, and I decide that there is more of me I can give to the world. There is
Yes.
more of me I can bring to many more people instead of confining myself to a position. It's a position because hey, a job that does not belong to you, to a position that paid me very well. But you know what? There is more down the line. And my
Yes.
next mile marker in the next 2-3 years, Susan, I don't just want a business that is ran by Maggie Jean, but I want a company where I can bring people along with me and they
Mm.
can get paid doing what they love, just like me doing what I love. I
Fantastic.
speak, I coach, I train, I develop, equip leaders to be high performing
I can
leaders
feel
who
the fire.
excel. That's the
I
mile
can feel
marker.
the passion.
That's
I
the
can
mile
feel
marker. But
it.
you know what, Susan? I can't do it on my own. I need other people to come with me.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, yes. If you're still watching, we are on here with Miss Maggie Jean. She is the owner and CEO for MJ Coaching and Business Solutions. Miss Jean, your final words to our audiences.
You know, if you're out there and you have a vision, no matter what you think about that vision, no matter what you think it may, I'm not sure. You won't be sure unless you give it a try. You
Hmm.
won't be sure unless you put those shoes on your feet and start running. You won't be sure until you get people who can buy into your dream, not the naysayers, not the one that tells you impossible. Because remember, since when impossible has ever stopped you? Keep moving. Surround yourself with the people that can help you make that dream come alive. They're there. They're waiting for you. And you have to make that vision come alive. You might be the next Mark Zuckerberg. You might be the next Elon Musk. We're waiting for you. Don't make us wait too late.
We're waiting for you.
Waiting for you. We're
Don't
waiting
make
for
us
you.
wait too long.
Please don't make us wait too long. Come
Thank
on.
you so much, Miss Maggie, for those inspirational and fiery words that just spur us to be who we are called to be and to bring who we are to the world and what we owe the world to the world. Thank you so much. We truly enjoyed our time with you, and we hope that, this shouldn't be the last.
I hope it's not the last. Susan, I
Yes.
thank you so much for, giving me the honor to be here, to have even, the thought of sharing this platform with Dr. Shu. I'm sorry he had this technical difficulties, but the honor of being in a room with an esteemed scholar like Dr. Shu, oh, that was just, oh, my mind was blown. But I want to tell you, thank you for giving me the honor to serve your people who are listening to us today. And I hope that there was a little something that was said on here today that can help you begin the process of effecting change.
Thank you so much. And I'll
Yes,
take your words to Dr. Shu. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is all the time we have. You see, this time flies by so fast when you have people like Miss McGishon in the studio. The time flies by so fast. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for all your comments in the chat. And we are here for you. Let us know how else we might serve you. We believe in you and we are rooting for you. And know that you have a tribe of people who believe in the impossible. Arise, because there is a dream within you. There is visionary leadership in you. If you have an imagination, yes, you can be a visionary leader. Ladies and gentlemen, it was the Leaders World, and we'll see you during the next broadcast. Thank you. Bye bye.
For your corporate and personal needs.
Leaders World Institute, changing lives, one leader at a time.